Welcome to Rising Above Shadows of Abuse. Rasa, your host Grace of her awareness and prevention. How is the Colombian society raising awareness about child trafficking, and what preventative strategies are being implemented to protect vulnerable children? I know you've talked about the victim support and also the social programs, but how do they raise awareness that, okay, this thing is not good? How do they tell parents? How do they tell teenagers that when somebody comes around you, or children, when somebody comes around you, don't know them, run or something?
Well, Grace, there are campaigns on social media, on television. The government is putting in the television campaigns such as, for example, No Más Trata, No More Trafficking, and jingles and songs and campaigns or contents for the teenagers to participate in that kind of campaigns and projects. Also, the government is organizing with the help of schools and universities, workshops, seminars with people, with teenagers, with parents, with grandparents, etc. So I think there is also the grassroots movement. People in the communities are working together to raise awareness, to prevent children, to say, children, please don't do it. Please don't taste, because they started by tasting and they say, okay, don't worry, just taste. Or when it's talking about trafficking, they say, okay, I'm gonna give you a lot of money to, for example, just to watch. They say, that's easier, that's no problem. I just watch and I say what I watch, and that's a criminal action, because they are announcing when the police or when the authorities are coming. So they are starting by doing simple tasks. But that simple tasks are criminal actions. So there are many programs that are creating that awareness and prevention in teenagers. I don't know, Lucho, if you, in your experience, have you seen another experiences?
Well, it's very complicated to explain about the child trafficking because there are some NGOs, but corruption has attacked them too. For example, in my school, some children were caught by the criminal group gangster, but nobody did anything. They were lost. Everybody was asking for them, but police, government, NGOs, no answers. Yeah, they were disappeared. I think most of the children, or a part, a little part of children, were found, were rescued, but the rest were killed. They are disappeared from the people's sight.
Thank you. That's really sad. That's really, really painful to find out that some children disappear, either trafficked, like you said, or killed, maybe because they don't want to do what they've been told to do, and so they kill them. But when you were sharing, you talked about some of the children being indoctrinated into the cult or into drug pushing or drug peddling.
Well, I hope in a close future we can find answers. We can find solutions to this big problem. For me, I'm worried about children's situation.
Because they're the future generation. And if at this rate they are being polluted or being killed, what is the legacy we are leaving for the next generation? That's the big question.
Families are broken. They are desperate, looking for their relatives.
And it's because, Lucho, we have the double situation. We have the actions and also we have the production of both. Maybe in other countries they only have addiction problem, but here we have double problem, because many children are being kidnapped because of they are forced to enter to these kind of illegal groups to produce drugs, but they are also forced to deal with the drugs and to commercialize and to buy and sell drugs internally and outside other countries. There is a term, there is a word that is called mula, that is in English is like donkey.
In English.
Yeah.
They carry the drugs, yeah.
And they carry the drugs in their bodies. So many people are forced to do it. It's not because they want it. because they are forced to do it. So these kind of measures to support and rehabilitate the trafficked children are very important, and we have to carry out. Also, Grace, in the schools, there are psychological counselors. We have counselors nowadays in our schools. That term doesn't exist before here. It didn't exist before. We didn't have counselors, but nowadays we have. And they are in charge of provide psychological support in general, to all the teenagers at school, the students.
Thank you. Wow, it's really a difficult situation. If you want more on this topic, kindly send an email to risingaboveshadows of abuse@gmail.com. Thank you.